am Katrina.
I'm Christina, and we're the Gorgeous Geeks. And a new show premiered this week. I was interested to see it.
You speak with such authority right now.
Yeah. Yeah, a new show started this week called No Ordinary Family, and I saw the commercial. I'm like, wow, this is a Fantastic Four / Incredibles ripoff. But you know,
I was hesitant to watch it too. I was very hesitant.
Oh, they're all kind of sort of a ripoff. I mean, Incredibles is like a Fantastic Four ripoff. Fantastic Four, it's original because of how it was all brought together, but it's not. I mean, there's already a stretchy guy and a Human Torch.
Well, there really isn't a superpower that you really can't come up with.
Yeah.
And being original with, because everything has been done. But as far as the family aspect, it's been done before, so it's kind of like, oh, okay.
But I thought it was, I mean, there were things that I thought were clever with the story.
Oh, yeah. Like Michael Chiklis's character, Jim.
Jim, yes.
He is a sketch artist for the police. I'm just like, that's so clever, because then he'll be able to hear, all the crimes going on, and, he can actually go out and do stuff.
Be the first one to know what these criminals look like,
Yeah, much better than, working in a, newspaper place. No offense to Spider-Man or Superman, but, they're right there in the action, so it's really cool. I think that's really clever,
and
I love
no
how
one's done that before.
I love how Jim he's friends with the DA. He's like best friends with the DA, and they're like these grown men that like read comic books or something when they were kids.
They're
or whatever.
just really excited about.
And they're really excited, like, yo, dude, I have superpowers. Like that's
I've got a lair with
I made you a lair with Wi-Fi. Like, it's awesome.
Yeah.
And so I was laughing so much. Like, they think it's so cool. It's so awesome.
It's very refreshing. It's very charming, and it's very funny. Their relationship.
Yeah, it's really cool. And just like the wife Stephanie, who was I know her as Darla from Angel. She has like
Julie Benz.
Yeah, Julie Benz. She has this super speed and
all of their powers reflect upon their personalities or what they personally needed. Jim is a guy who's very involved with his family, but his wife is super busy, and his kids, they're not little kids or teenagers. They want their own lives basically. So he kind of feels like the odd man out and feeling less than extraordinary. So he's granted with these with super strength. And Stephanie, she's this scientist who's working all the time, and she doesn't have time for her husband, time for her kids, or anything. And so now she's super fast, so now she's made time for herself.
Right. Their daughter is like over emotional, and
teenager.
I
love my boyfriend.
She
has
a lot of things. She has a lot of things on her mind,
yeah.
So now she can read minds.
Yeah.
And her brother was like, flunking. He was, kind of like not slow or anything like that, but he just wasn't getting it, his grades or anything like that. He was slacking in school, or he just didn't have the mindset for it, and he saw himself as an idiot and stupid, and he thought that's how everybody else saw him. But guess what? Now he's a super genius. And so
I would have been, personally, I would have been like, I preferred another power, but I guess if that's something...
Someone has to work out the equations.
Yeah, that's something... I mean, he was excited when he was taking that math test. He thought he was going to fail, and all of a sudden, he started looking at it, like, in a new light. But, if it works out like how the comic books do, like these Super Geniuses show with...
Amadeus Cho?
Yeah. If it works out like that is awesome. Because he's like, oh, I see this paperclip. Let me put it like this. In all these destruction is gonna happen for my enemies. It's like the most amazing thing ever.
Oh yeah.
Like that would be better than super strength and super speed and all that stuff. But
just don't underestimate the super geniuses.
Yeah,
they're smart.
If he's at home, he's like, I realized that this equation is this, and they're like, he has a gun. Like I don't know what that's gonna do, but we'll see. We'll see how that plays out.
But it's very interesting because right now the father is the only one who wants to fight crime. Of course, the emotional teenage girl thinks she's a freak and blah, blah, blah.
It's like, what's wrong with these children?
I don't know. I'd be so pumped. I'd be like the dad, like, yeah, Daddy, let's go fight some crime. You know, the wife is just like, now I can use my super speed to do my job better. So it's kind of funny. And then I find it interesting because they're finding people to confide in. Like the husband confided in his best friend. The wife confided in one of her coworkers. I'm curious. Well, the daughter confided into the mother. So I'm curious to see how it'll all turn out, and who the son will confide in as well. So it'll just be really interesting.
I thought the pilot moved along pretty fast, but it was the pilot, and I guess they didn't want to spend all the time with boring origin stories. They wanted to get right to the
pilot
powers
was awesome.
and stuff. I mean, it moved along kind of fast, but it was necessary, I guess. I'm curious to see how the rest of the episodes are paced.
Oh yeah, and then how they got their powers. You know, the wife, you know, she's a research scientist, and she had to go down to Brazil to study some type of plant or whatever.
So they made it a family trip
because they hadn't gone on a family trip in forever. So the father was like, "Hey, let's just all go down there during the summer and to Brazil as a vacation." And so then the plane ended up getting some turbulence, bad weather, lightning, rain, thunder, whatever. They crashed into this water where the plants that she wanted to research were there.
Well, they didn't confirm that it was the plant itself.
It probably was the plants, though.
You're assuming things you shouldn't tell people that they are, and you're assuming and you know.
Okay, I don't know, but I'm assuming it was a plant. So there was green glowing things underneath the water, and when they emerged from the water, they had superpowers. Well, the superpowers manifested, you know, once they got back to the States, and over time they did. Father was the first one. He caught a bullet, and it crushed in his hand. And the wife, you know, she ended up running down the highway, which was a very cool sequence, by the way. Because at first I was like, oh, it's just something like I seen on Smallville. But then when they really started to do the slow motion and she started looking around, it was a really cool sequence. Very cool. Probably the coolest one in the show. Moment in the show, I thought. You found out early on that, you know, that Michael Chiklis' character, Jim, he could jump. And I loved how he said, his friend said, you can jump, you know, over a tall building. He was like, I can what? And he was like, jump over a building in a single bound, which is something that, you know, Superman did before he became Superman or whatever. And so he was, you know, so I love the little comic book references that they use in it as well. And I just thought it was also very cool because they showed how, you know, he can fall off a building and, you know, and stand up, you know, unharmed and stuff. But then they also showed him, you know, towards the end of the episode that he also has a weakness. He can still be hurt. You know, if somebody puts a gun to his head, and it's a certain type of caliber of bullet, that it can kill him. Yeah. You know.
So I was.
He's not
like,
totally invincible.
No,
he's not totally invincible. You know. But if a bullet is meant to kill somebody, you blow somebody's head off, you know, from 4 feet away. If it's at close range, it can kill him. So I thought it was very interesting how they did that because, you know, a lot of times when they introduce characters, you know, that you don't really, well, in TV shows, well, no, that's not true. They usually show their weaknesses. But I thought that was very cool that, you know, they did that right off the bat. And so there's a limit to their abilities, and you don't know, at the moment, you don't know if they're getting weaker, if they're getting stronger, or what even triggers, or what did trigger it, or, you know. So you're still in the beginning stages, and it's very interesting. And so it really kept my attention the whole entire time. You know, so it's something to look at. Really check it out. Because I'll tell you one thing.
Yeah, because
if they end up canceling this, and it's a really good show, I'm going to be very upset. Because I'm really getting tired of it.
She's coming after you.
Oh,
she knows where you live.
I know. I'm going to write people a letter. I will write a letter to people and complain.
A very strongly worded letter.
Strongly.
Like, I am very angry.
Not just
and
angry,
disappointed
very
in you. There won't be any curse words or anything like that. It'll be very strongly emphasize negative emotions.
Very much so. Because
in
this
the
show
nicest, politest way possible.
This show deserves to be recognized as a very great show.
Yeah, and I'm glad it came on because I gave up on One Tree Hill. That show's done now. So I needed something else for the time slot.
So I think that this is a really good show, and I really hope that people will tune into it. If you haven't seen it, go on the internet, watch it, find it. It's on ABC. Look it up. Tune in. It's a great show. You won't be sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Really good stuff. So, anyways, I'm Katrina.
I'm Christina.
And we're the Gorgeous Ladies.